This year's Ballon d'Or shortlist has something we haven't seen in a long time. Top 8 players who've never even been in the top 5 before. Let that sink in. No Messi, no Ronaldo, no Benzema, not even Rodri after their brutal injury. The kings of the last decade are gone, and suddenly the door's wide open and it's wild. A 35-goal winger who used to be called injury-prone. A Premier League record breaker from Egypt. An 18-year-old who makes defenders twice his age look dumb. And even a Scottish midfielder who went from Old Trafford boos to Maradona-level love in Naples. So here's the real question for you. When the lights go down in Paris on September 22nd, who will be holding that golden ball? And will it be for their numbers, their trophies, or the story they've written this season? In this video, let's break down who will win the Ballon d'Or Men 2025, based on form, numbers, and yes, fan votes. If you told Barcelona fans 2 years ago that Ousmane Dembélé would smash 35 goals in a season, drag PSG to their first ever Champions League title, and followed with Ousmane Ballon d'Or chants, you'd have been laughed out of the room. He'd been injured, inconsistent, often criticized. His Barca stint was a frustrating what-if story. Then there was the €50 million move to PSG, and a slow first year overshadowed by Mbappe. But the moment Kylian left, Dembélé became the man. Lightning down the wing, step-overs that humiliate, a ruthlessness in front of a goal we'd never seen from him before. PSG fans sang his name during the trophy parade. He wasn't just part of the treble, he was the treble. Absolutely electric, explosive, hypnotic footwork, and for the first time, a ruthless edge in front of goal. Dembélé outperformed his XG by +7 goals this season, one of the best finishing over performances in Europe. Now, add in 16 assists and he directly contributed to 51 goals in all competitions. That's prime Ballon d'Or material. If the Ballon d'Or is about impact, he's in pole position. But there's one thing, fan polls already have him tied for top spot with Salah. Could that split cost him the crown? It's wild to think the Egyptian king has never finished higher than 5th in the Ballon d'Or voting. And yet, here we are, after a season where Salah smashed records and carried Liverpool to their 20th league title. 29 goals, 18 assists, the Premier League Golden Boot and Playmaker Award in the same season. He matched Shearer and Cole's record for most goal involvement in a top-flight campaign. That's insane! And he did it while dragging Liverpool to their 20th league title. Virgil van Dijk called it ridiculous numbers. He's right. Salah's performances against top 6 opposition this season were unmatched. 12-goal contributions in 8 games against Liverpool's biggest rivals. That's what we needed, clinical delivery when the moment calls for it. But, and there's always a but, Liverpool's early European exit could haunt him. Only one player in the last 15 years has won the Ballon d'Or without a deep Champions League run. Will the voters hold it against him? Lamine Yamal is 18. He hasn't won the Champions League, and yet the streets are filled with his shirt number 10. The headlines scream his name, and defenders twice his age are left chasing shadows. Yamal is a phenomenon, from his dazzling semi-final performance against Inter to his cheeky smile under pressure. He's a reminder of why we love football. Messi didn't win the Champions League in 2010 and still got crowned the best in the world. Now there is a possibility. Could history repeat itself? Yamal's dribble success rate is 67%, and that's the highest of any player in Europe with over 100 attempts. That's absurd. For comparison, prime Neymar averaged around 60%. Still, being too soon might be the only thing in his way. But if not this year, you can bet the Ballon d'Or is his in the future. But yeah, one thing is certain, it's a tough call. Now, this is the most shocking nomination of the season, Scott McTominay. From being booed at Old Trafford to becoming Napoli's box-to-box heartbeat. 12 goals, 6 assists, and a Serie A title in his first season in Italy. Remarkable goals at the San Siro, at the Olimpico and against Juventus. We saw Scottish flags waving at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. McTominay covered more ground per game than any other midfielder in Serie A. That's what makes him unique. Is he the best player in the world? Probably not. But is he the year's best story? Absolutely. He scored the goal that lit up Naples, a jaw-dropping bicycle kick against Cagliari that sealed the title and sent the city into meltdown. Fans were chanting his name back at him in chorus, "Scotto, Scotto," every time he scored. And they have murals of him now, yes, real artwork on city walls, hymnatically calling him McFratum, or their brother, or the bottle opener, for how often he fired Napoli ahead. Even Scotland captain Andy Robertson couldn't stop raving. He wanted to prove Manchester United wrong. Now he's a king over there. That's a long way up from Old Trafford. Napoli made him a legend in months, and the city made it loud and clear. They worship him. You know those rare players who make football feel like art? That's Vitinha. He doesn't just play the game, he glides through it. Pretty smooth, creative, and always making the perfect decision. As if the ball loves to follow him. He was at the heart of PSG's treble and Portugal's Nations League victory. The best thing about Vitinha is he isn't obsessed with goals or assists. For him, it's about control, about making the pitch feel smaller for the opposition and bigger for his teammates. He led PSG in both progressive passes, literally moving the ball forward more than anyone else in their squad. This season, his touch was written all over the big nights, bossing midfield against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final, with a no-look assist to cut open Barcelona, and hitting a near-perfect 94% pass accuracy in the Nations League final. Amazingly, he covered more ground than PSG's attackers, and won more competitions than Messi did in his Ballon d'Or winning season. Even when stacked against Rodri, Vitinha's progression and versatility was unmatched. So, here's the thought. Ballon d'Or voters love goal scorers. But if the award was for the man who owned the flow of games, Vitinha would have won it. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. No left back has ever won the Ballon d'Or, and that's a crime, because Mendes had a season most attackers would kill for. 53 appearances, 5 goals, a defensive and attacking monster in PSG's quadruple. That's not all. He also delivered 14 assists, created more big chances than any other fullback in Europe, and averaged 3.2 key passes per game. Numbers that rival top playmakers. His solo goal against Marseille, dribbling past 4 defenders before slotting home, went viral. In competitions, he outperformed even Alphonso Davies and Robertson this season, making his Ballon d'Or shout impossible to ignore. We all know Kvaratskhelia plays like every dribble is personal. His goal against Aston Villa in the Champions League, twisting Disasi inside out, was one of the most iconic. League One, Serie A, and Champions League medals in the same season. Surprisingly, 145 successful take-ons this season, the most in Europe. If voters fall for flair, he's in the running. If they want cold stats, Dembélé still edges him. He signed for PSG mid-season for €80 million and became the first Georgian to score in a Champions League final. His strike came in that 5-0 thumping of Inter. His debut was an instant assist to Dembélé in League One. He also finished at PSG's top dribbler per match and ranked top in progressive runs among all wingers in Europe. Legends are already murmuring, Kvaradona is more than a nickname, it's a legend in the making. And in Paris, fans are whispering, could he really win this year? At the start of the season, most thought Raphinha was gone. Instead, he delivered 56 goal contributions and became one of Europe's deadliest attackers. 5 goals against Real Madrid, a hat-trick against Bayern Munich. Barcelona's Copa del Rey and La Liga titles were built on his relentless running and one hell of a playmaker skills. If they'd made the Champions League final, he'd probably be among the favorites. His nomination this year is no joke. Raphinha ranked top 3 in Europe for assists from open play and led La Liga in chances created. His performances in El Clasico alone would be career-defining for most players. Still, the Ballon d'Or tends to reward continental dominance, and that semi-final exit hurt his case. But with numbers like his and match-winning moments against Europe's biggest clubs, he has earned his seat at the table, even if he's an outsider for the crown. Now, we are talking about scary good here. There's performing under pressure, and then there's Cole Palmer. Euro 2024 final equalizer for England, check. 2 goals and an assist in the Club World Cup final against PSG, check. Yes, his mid-season dip in form might count against him, but in the biggest games, he's ice cold, and that's the stuff Ballon d'Or legends are made of. Palmer's 2024-25 campaign produced 31 goals and 18 assists across all competitions, making him Chelsea's highest scorer since Eden Hazard's peak. He was named Club World Cup Golden Ball winner and finished joint top assist provider in the Premier League. His nomination stems from delivering in decisive matches, finals, semi-finals, high-pressure league clashes, often single-handedly carrying Chelsea. However, the Ballon d'Or tends to favor players who win multiple major titles or dominate across an entire season. While Palmer's peaks were spectacular, his mid-season lull and Chelsea's inconsistent league run may leave him short against treble winners or Champions League heroes. Still, his peak moments ensure he's a deserved top 10 candidate. TNT Sports polls have Salah and Dembélé locked in a dead heat at 28%. Lamine Yamal's holding 12%, and here's the kicker. In 7 of the last 10 years, the Ballon d'Or winner came from a Champions League winning side. That's a huge edge for Dembélé and PSG. So, when you add up all the trophies, the influence, the moments burned into our memories, plus the fan votes, the scales tilt. We are leaning toward Ousmane Dembélé, not just because of his numbers, but because football voters love a comeback. This is a man once written off as always injured, and is now the star who delivered PSG their holy grail. Salah, well, he'll breathe down his neck until the last vote is counted. Yamal, his era is coming, no doubt. But on September 22nd in Paris, we can almost picture it. The lights, the applause, and Dembélé lifting the golden ball with that smile that says, "Told you I'd be back." That's all for now, but we would love your thoughts in the comments below. Who are you rooting for? Who will win? Do you agree with our opinion? Till then, like the video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing football content.